India arrests 83-year-old activist and Jesuit priest who was helping indigenous people fight mining corporates on terrorism charges.
Here's a summary of the article.
In a video recorded days before his arrest, Father Swami said detectives had questioned him for 15 hours over 5 days in July. Father Swami had been in the crosshairs of investigating agencies for some time. Despite his deteriorating health, Father Swami never missed an opportunity to speak up for tribespeople. Jean Dreze, a Belgian-born Indian development economist who's known Father Swami for over a decade, described him as a gentle and honest man, always on time, secular and committed to his causes. Much of Father Swami's activism, his friends say, was seeded during his time at the University of Manila. A few days later, his nonagenarian sister passed, of sorrow, possibly, according to Father Swami. "My bags are packed and I am ready to go," Father Swami told his host.
This post received a score of 52,000, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
If Gandhi was around nowadays, Indian police would have arrested him.
TBF, the ruling party, is not a big fan of his. They're affiliated with the group that assassinated him. Most right-wing Hindu nationalists don't like him as much because he championed the cause of minorities. But they'll use his name liberally if it suits their purpose in whipping up nationalist sentiments.
Don't they literally praise the killer of Gandhi?
Yep. They hold celebrations and consider Gandhi a heretic for uniting the many religious and ethnic factions across India. They believe India should be ruled by a tiny group of aristocratic elite by birthright, and that only Hindus should be allowed to live in India. Gandhi fought for secularism and against the caste system, hence he got killed for it.
I want to move to the Star Trek version of the future. Anyone got a time machine?
You're also going to need a Sliders-esque dimension hopping machine too, because no way the Star Trek future is in our timeline. Also in the Star Trek universe, 2020 is like on the cusp of WW3, so that's not so great either.
That sounds like our timeline to me. Looks nervously at Armenia and Azerbaijan.
As it looks like no meaningful action will be taken. Climate change will create 1 billion+ refugees, which alongside other consequences should be enough for the world to tear itself apart.
I'm not usually a doomsayer, but this right here is what our future really is, eventually.
Not gonna lie, this headline was a rollercoaster of assumptions, expectations for me.
India, 83-year-old activist and Jesuit priest who was helping indigenous people fight mining corporates arrested on terrorism charges.
This is something I'm very worried about, corporation getting protected by terrorism laws when those companies are doing egregious BS. It is like the Extinction Rebellion is a just movement, but governments the world over are calling them terrorists. What BS? The real terrorists are the executives burning the planet down to pump share prices.
The people working to stop the Dakota Access Pipeline are often labeled as such.
Yes. And even the liberal wet dream of a president, Barack Obama, turned a blind eye as the protesters were mauled by dogs and police officers. The Supreme Court, RBG included, decided the pipeline can continue through indigenous lands. It's disgusting the amount to which corporations control politicians' edit. Liberal does not equal progressive.
There are some progressives who'd rather move away from the term liberal, as it's also linked to laissez-faire capitalism, as seen with parties like the Japanese LDP, which isn't liberal or very democratic in the American sense of the words.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.